Hello and welcome to Huddersfield Town Extra Time here live from the Key and Prince Foundation Stadium. I'm joined by Michael Hefele and Mel Booth, formerly of the Examiner. Michael, that was a frustrating one. We missed out narrowly, but it felt like that game should have probably ended in a draw.
Well, of course we are frustrated, I would say, on the end of the day when Mipo got like the last chance of the game in somehow. Then we obviously would nick a point from there. The chances were like more on QPR, if we have to be honest here. Yes, we had some chances, but I think more chances got QPR, but we stayed in the game. We were focused. We keep the 0-0 very long, which is always good to just stay in the game regardless how many chances the opposite has. And obviously we conceded then, and this was then a little game changer. We could have nicked a point, but on the end of the day, QPR had more from the game.
Mel, we were talking before we started recording, and we said it's a shame for Lee Nicholls that he didn't get a clean sheet because he thoroughly deserved one this evening. He made one really outstanding save from Johansson and a couple of other bright moments where he stopped a few advancing QPR moments that could have well ended in their first goal before they ended up scoring.
Yeah, I mean, I think Lee Nicholls has been very impressive since he came into the club, and he's made a big difference. You know, the back line, I know we've got quite a few new faces in there, but the back line generally looks very solid, and they'll be absolutely gutted that they let that late goal in tonight. You know, it really is a case of what might have been, because, we had a fantastic chance in the very first 45 seconds, and Dieng pulls off a great save from the overlapping fullback Turton, and that was a great chance. And then at the beginning of the second half, I mean, I don't know what Michael thought of it, but that penalty appeal when Josh Koroma was flicking the ball over the top, that was just battered down. It looked like an obvious penalty to me, and it seemed like the referee had a good view of it, but obviously it wasn't given. But like Hef said, after that disappointment, we stay in the game. There's a half a chance for Dan El-Sanani, which he fired straight at the keeper. But then QPR sort of kept coming. They kept coming and kept coming. And eventually, unfortunately, we didn't stop the cross coming in, and the guy had a header in front of Lee Nicholls, which he put away. And, Luke Amos, has come on as a sub, and he's made that impact. But it's a real shame for Town because, we had a lot of good forward pressing in that game, and yet we couldn't make anything much of it around the QPR box.
Yeah, Michael, it feels to me if this game was played at John Smith Stadium, it's one that we might have actually won. That seems to be the decisive factor, is that QPR had the home advantage. They were more comfortable here. They had the crowd behind them, and that seemed to have been the deciding factor. Do you think that's a fair assumption to make?
I totally agree with you, Raj. I would say if we play this game at our beautiful John Smith Stadium with our supporters in our back, then the energy would be totally different for our team, because like in the John Smith, the supporters, they're backing you up. They are like giving you this little bit extra where you win the challenges all of a sudden, or when the ball comes toward you for some reason, which is like magic. And I think we would have won, but like we discussed here, on the end of the day, it was good to see they kept the 0-0 as long as possible. They stayed in the game. Obviously, we have to learn out of the mistakes, how we concede this goal, because we look very solid at the back, but on this situation where we conceded, the organization was not right. So if we want to climb the ladder of the table, which was today a great opportunity, then we have to improve in these moments of the game. Yes, Kuopio have more chances, we're at home and playing okay, but like no problem. We have to fight against this pressure what they give us, and then in crucial moments we have to be there regardless.
Yeah, Michael, obviously your position when you were playing was as a central defender, and you were a brilliant central defender for Town and for other clubs. In your opinion, with that knowledge of having played and now from a coaching standpoint, where do you think the issue was for Town when they conceded? Was it not being able to stop the cross? Was it the fact that Amos had somehow managed to get free and found some space? Where was the disconnect there that allowed QPR to take the advantage?
Well, I don't wanna single somebody out, because like it was not just one error in my view. First of all, I have to review it back, because Levi was out there defending the cross, which is not really position. So it should be organized there, that obviously Toffs is there or whatever, or then at least block the cross. And obviously if Levi is out there on the box, the whole 5-back line is shuffling over. Then Tom Lees was dragged out of position. Matty Pearson was still in the same position in the 5-back line, because they didn't shuffle it over. And exactly where like the opposite striker scored on a free header is like this one position missing. We shuffle all the way back, all the way over, and every place is then occupied. And then there's no problem at all. But this position was not occupied, so we have to shuffle all or nobody, and we stay. So this was the problem in this situation. I can't remember how they break down the wing. I think this was not really a counter attack. I have to watch it back, but on the end of the day, this was exactly the problem, where the striker arrives in the position where normally Lees is. Colville would be then on Lee's position on the first post, and then everything is great and we defend it. But like we have to be switched on regardless in which situation of the game. Away, we played there as well. Myself, I played as well there, and it's hard when they're coming, when they're putting pressure on, the cross is coming in, and you literally have to fight for every single ball, every yard, and you have to be there. You have to be focused 97, 98, 99 minutes.
Yeah. It's a shame, isn't it? Because our defence has been largely excellent this season, and it's those fine margins and those fine details, isn't it, Mel, that make the difference in a league like the Championship, where these two teams, you know, on paper and on the night were largely level, and there wasn't much between them at all. And it is, as Michael just really eloquently ran through, just one moment of not ill discipline, but where the defence just wasn't as organised as they usually are, and that's the 1 minute where QPR can take the advantage.
Yeah, I mean, Carlos will want to work on this concentration element, for the 90 minutes. It's cost us a late equaliser at Peterborough. It's cost us 2 late goals at Cardiff, which we ended up losing the game. 5 points. And
they're all 5 points gone. Well.
Yeah, and another point gone tonight, again from a header. So yeah, there's an element of concentration there that needs to be picked up on. Also organisation, like Hef said, but I think we've also got to make more at the other end, because from some of the I thought Scott High and Lewis O'Brien drove forward very well. There was width in there at times from Josh Karoma, and from on the right hand side from Turton, and and Daniel Sinani at times as well. People were getting wide, and we were getting forward very promisingly to around the edge of the box, and then we had opportunities to shoot but didn't shoot. and then we had opportunities to cross and didn't get the right ball in. And so there were just little things which were just off kilter. And, you know, you're away from home against a top 6 side. And, you know, eventually those little things add up. And, you know, you end up with a result like tonight, which, you know, Town didn't really deserve. But if you were going to flick a coin and say, well, one team was probably going to take it towards the end, it was going to be QPR. And that's really disappointing because there's been a lot of hard graft and effort gone in tonight and some decent football along the way as well. And yet Town have come away with nothing, which, you know, it puts more pressure on picking up points at home. We've got Borough to come. Great, enticing game to come, and you know, this is a performance to build on. There was plenty of good things tonight, and it's a shame that Town have come away with nothing. But you know, it does ramp up the pressure to keep picking up 3 points at home. The next away game, of course, is Barnsley, just down the road, so we will have big support down there. And you know, very hopeful of a good performance, even though they've got a new manager in, etc. But yeah, tonight I really do think, you know, it is a case of what might have been. I think we were very close to picking up a very significant point.
Yeah, Michael, if we try and make a few positives as we wind down the show, because it's not a result we want to dwell on too much. I thought Ollie Turton, who's been in and out of the side this season, it was really positive tonight. He looks very confident after, you know, a really positive display on the weekend, and that was one of his better performances for Town, I thought. And he's sort of establishing himself as a wing back in this system in a way that he might have not done previously, which is really good to see. And I thought Lewis O'Brien, who was making his 100th start in all competitions, and as captain as well, was brilliant as ever. His energy, his ability to be in both boxes, the way he was an outlet and driving and constantly a nuisance was just, you know, we're in danger at 23 years old of taking him for granted a little bit. Do you think that's a fair thing to say about those two players, Michael?
Well, to Ollie Turton, I would say this was a good performance from him. He drove with the ball forwards. When he received the ball, he looked, where can I play forward? He played forward. And then the last couple of games, he was very safe, very consistent. I think he's the most consistent player from Huddersfield Town, because he's never amazing and he's never really bad. He's always like delivering like a postman. So I like Ollie Turton because he's always there. He's so reliable. He's always doing the job. And now if he puts something extra on it, playing forward or with the first chance after like 32 seconds, he could score there if he believes more. He can be like the key man, but he has to get this in his head that he has the power and he has everything what you need to decide a game. So I'm very, very positive about Ollie Turton, and big credit obviously to Lewis O'Brien, 100th appearance for Huddersfield Town. Just respect and big credit for him. We used to train together when he was a young lad, academy product, and I probably smashed him one or two times too hard, and he never complained. So he's an amazing, fantastic guy. Honestly, he was always like working very hard. Took a lot of stuff from the senior players, even when some stuff was not going good. So he absolutely deserved every hail, and especially today, I think from box to box, how many miles he's covering, unbelievable. In certain situations, how calm he takes the ball down with his right foot, with his left foot, and dribbles in, drives with the ball, switches the sides, and also intercepts the ball, wins the challenges. He got kicked very hard, but he's not complaining. He's straight away on his feet with a smile and goes again. And this is the difference between average players and like becoming very, very big players. Because you never see like Lionel Messi, he gets kicked 100 times in a game. He's always going up and like I show you again, I show you again. And a similar style of this behavior where you can kick Lewis O'Brien as hard as you can, but this guy, he's like coming back, he's coming again, and he's coming again. He's like a nightmare.
Yeah, I think that's a great point, well made, Michael. And just before we end, obviously, there's a short turnaround now until Saturday. We've got Middlesbrough at home in your Kindertag. We obviously want to see a packed house at the John Smiths for that one. And one thing that Town have done well this season is they haven't really suffered many back-to-back defeats. We've always backed up a loss with a positive result. So do you want to see a reaction on Saturday in front of a big crowd, Michael?
Definitely, we will see a reaction, and we see as well like a learning curve, I would say, because like in these games, today was a very big game. QPR, they're hanging around as well in the top 6. We are sniffing around as well there. And then on the end of the day, like Mel said, we're speaking about details. Okay, both teams could win, could draw, yes. But like on the end of the day, these little details, these little mistakes are deciding, are you in the top 6 or are you direct promotion or whatever. So we have to get this in our heads, take the good stuff out of these games, what we had, and then we will definitely, hopefully, have some 3 points with their Kindertag. A lot of kids are coming, so I'm looking forward, especially to this game day, because we invited so many school kids, so many children on the 18th to this special tailor-made day to the Middlesbrough game, which will be incredible.
Excellent. So I think we'll leave it on that positive note, Michael. Thank you, Mel, for your time. Thank you, Michael, for your time. And thank you, as ever, to Sports Broker for making the show possible.